It's Jen Suzuki, and I'm in the industry. I meet some of the greatest leaders out there, dealer execs, dealers, GMs, and I'm bringing them in the studio to talk to me about what's making their business pop, what's accelerating their growth. I'm sharing my own personal strategies for your sales teams, so I'm ready to get after it. Are you? Welcome back, listeners. I've got Alex Snyder, a longtime friend and colleague. He's the CEO of FRIKINtech and the president of Dealer Refresh. This is an automotive forum that's been around forever, and it's a great tool, really, for anyone that's in the automotive industry to check out and sort of meet other people and talk about different vendors and different processes in the industry. It's a great collab site. And anyway, I can tell you I'm very excited to talk to Alex because Alex has been on the forefront of technology for a long time. And not only that, but his roots go back to vehicle salesperson. He's worked his way up through the dealership field and got into automotive tech and just kills it with FRIKINtech. If you guys haven't seen this before, you should take a look. I really am excited. My friend Dave Sperau, the founder, the chief revenue officer of Autosled. The reason why I'm excited to have Dave on today is because Autosled has become a powerhouse. I mean, they are ranking, the people are acknowledging them. Deloitte, right? And I probably always said that wrong. Deloitte, douche. I don't even know. Is that how you say it, Dave? Deloitte, of course.
Deloitte.
It's Deloitte. Yeah, there you go. It's Deloitte.
So fancy.
Yeah, I'm automotive.
Yeah.
You know, ranking them, one of the top companies out there that's making moves. And of course, NADA has recognized them as well. Dave, welcome. Alex, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Good to see you again, Jen.
Yeah. So I was actually kind of pumped when somebody told me that Alex had used Autosled. And I've also personally shared my experience with Autosled. So Autosled, for me, really disrupted transportation for car dealers. And most people know because they've got a ton of customers. They've really made a lot of power moves, acquired a lot of customers in the last several years since, when Dave left his dealerships to focus on tech. And, Dave was really in the trenches and, struggling with personal experiences with transporters, and even just the accounting and all the inefficiencies of it, and, developed this product that a lot of my clients are using. And then they said, okay, we're not going to do this just for dealers, and making it very easy. I call it the Uber for transportation because literally you can see your car being picked up. You're getting photos from the driver. The driver is actually within reach, and you're seeing real time where this thing's traveling across the country, which, of course, gets to dealers' places of business faster and more efficiently because there's not like a whole lot of things in the way that hold up getting that car when you buy it from whoever you're buying it from. You want to sell that thing as fast as possible. And then, of course, they came out with this direct model, which I use to get my car like 10 states over. But Alex, I know you just recently used Autosled. Why'd you choose Autosled? How did you hear about them? How did you know they had a direct model?
Well, we've had Autosled as a sponsor of Dealer Refresh for years, and they've been great on our shows as well. And we've talked about so many different things and the ways that they innovate. One that stands out for me was when dealers were struggling to get cars out of the port. They were helping to get those onesie twosies out of there instead of them having to wait for a whole truckload to come out. So getting dealers cars that they can transact on, that was huge. And that was great to talk about. So I go back with Autosled through Dealer Refresh for years. Both David and his brother have been great to work with.
So it was on your radar.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I appreciate you having us on in the past, Alex. But, and that's still happening. It's funny you say that port. It's actually gotten more intense as people are ordering cars that we're able to get the 1s and 2s and 3s out to the dealers quicker because these retail orders are just such a big part of the dealer business now. Maybe it's how Michael Dell thought it would be years ago with these computers you order and it shows up in a couple of days, but it's really happened in the car industry as the retail orders have really increased over the years. So yeah, interesting that you bring that up because we still love that and we're still getting a lot of business from the OEMs, some of the OEMs from that ports, the same kind of ports for that demand. Retail, it's like anything else. It's retail demand, right? And that's why you used us. It was you found something that happened to be pretty far away from Vermont, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tell us
Yeah.
about your experience.
I try not to make this a long story, but this was a year-long search. I was looking for a unicorn vehicle. It was either going to be a Lexus LX 570 or the GX 460. I was looking for something that could handle the off-road scenes. Up here, it can be quite gnarly. You're really sort of, on the side of mountains, literally. And then also carry my family around. So I've got ambitions that I'll get them out in the wilderness camping sometime. My wife has a different feel for that, but
Oh boy.
yeah. So I was looking for one without rust, which happens to be a tall order because, well, when you're looking, yeah. Well, I think there might be one state that has worse rust problems than Vermont. I can't remember which one it is, but I know the life expectancy of a vehicle here is like 12 years. Because of the salting of the roads that just crushes them. So anyway, I found something, believe it or not, off of Reddit after going through Auto Trader and Cars and Gurus and everything every day, just hunting for the right car. That would be my morning routine. I'd make my coffee, I'd sit down before the kids woke up, and I'd hunt for that little unicorn. And it got paused for a little while. This was makes this a little more of a longer story, but in May, my wife was diagnosed with cancer, and so we had just sold one of our vehicles, and she had just bought a very expensive one, and I had to get rid of our fun one as well because we were putting some money on the side just to, in case the bills got really crazy, fighting that. And fortunately, she overcame it, and we were actually just coming out of Dana-Farber in Boston. And this would have been in October, I think, early October, when they were declaring that she was basically cancer free. We were fortunate that a couple of surgeries in quick succession were able to get rid of all of it. And we only ended up having to come out of pocket like $1,600 for entire cancer. And so the money that we had put aside for, was selling the other vehicles and everything was like, okay, it's go time now. So we got back on the hunt for the unicorn, and found it down in Arkansas at a Toyota dealership. And and I gotta say, I could go into a lot of depth here about the how dealers respond to leads and all the kind of fun stuff that I went through in that year, because I was submitting leads and whatnot. And can say that nobody's really got it right.
I had the same experience.
However,
Which makes
this
it
car,
frustrating because you're not so loyal to your local dealers all the time anymore. When
Right.
you know that you can get out there and search far.
very true, especially with options like Autosled to make the shipping easy.
Yeah.
But anyway, I found this car in Arkansas, and I found it off of a Reddit post of all things. Like, it was just,
I believe it.
yeah.
I've done
It's
this.
just- you're hunting all around, and it just pops up on you.
Yeah.
So I called. This was the only dealer I called instead of submitting a lead, and I got a great salesperson. I was shocked. He was like, yeah, I do out-of-state deliveries all the time. And I'll tell you, man, we got a bunch of these Lexuses over the past couple of months, and this is the last one, and we're just glad to get them gone. So what kind of deal can I do for you? I was like,
That's awesome.
Okay.
the lights just shine down, and this is the one. All right, we're good. So and then I just hit up Autosled with an email and said, hey, what's the best way to get a car shipped? And they sent me over to the department that handles it, and it was one email. Here's a link. Filled it in. I had a quote within, I guess, 10 minutes, and it was very much in line with my budget. And And then from there, it was like, okay, let us know in the next 30 days when you want to pick it up. If it's not within 30 days, I think we have to requote it. But we got the deal done, and I think like 2 weeks later, it was like, okay, you can go pick it up. And 2 days later, there was a driver there picking it up, and 2 days after that, it was here.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It was crazy fast and insanely easy, and nice because there's a back portal, which Jen, I think you got to use the early version of it. I'm getting to use the current, and just you can go into that anytime and see where your car is, know what the status is. It's why OEMs don't do this for new car orders, I don't know. But
there's so many parts of this story being from retail and dealing with. So I love the Autosled part. Obviously, I'm biased, of course, but I'm glad everything worked out and it was quick. The part about the dealers, the neighborhood dealer not taking care of that, or not, you think it just, and I get it, it's a unicorn, but that just pains me.
that was nationwide, David, not just.
Well, I hate that quotes. That just drives me crazy. I'm a third generation and a Ford dealer of my family in the neighborhood. I just, it's just incredible. So that part pains me. The OEM part's interesting. Like, so watching cars come from the factory, when I was in the Ford business, we would just get rail stops. And then we would just get this notification on literally this old black and green screen. Like, it was just crazy. And I think it's pretty similar to that now. And then all of a sudden it would go dark for 2 or 3 days. And you'd be like, what happened? Did it get to a rail yard? Did it get to a ramp? Is it stuck on the train? Is it, what?
Nobody likes mystery anymore.
Yeah, it was such a mystery, but hopefully the manufacturers, I've been out almost 5 years. So hopefully they've stepped it up since then. I'm not so sure, but we'll see. But anyway, that's a great story, though. I hope you're enjoying the vehicle and glad your wife is cancer free. And I always knock on wood. That's a great end of the story. I think that your wife's happy and healthy.
That's the most important part.
That's the most important part. Yeah.
Yep.
That is, as my grandmother would say, God rest her soul. That's your wealth, is your health, right? So
that's a fact.
Yep.
That is truly the most important thing.
It is.
But getting a new car is nice too.
Oh yeah, it is. I mean, look, the direct really is just from dealer demand on our side. I mean, dealers were just in YouTube. The fact that you went, 10 states away and you went down to Arkansas from Vermont, we're hearing that literally every minute, every hour, every day is, hey, I sold one and here it is and it's going there. And so that was just dealer demand. And I just, with all the tools that are out there, the videos and the bill of ladings and all the pictures and stuff, it's just made people feel so much more comfortable buying a car halfway across the country or a different state or different region, especially if it's a used car, right? They can just trust the videos and the pictures and it's just really from customer demand and the dealers willing to, sell the cars out of their PMA and out of their market.
Right.
So, it's just opened up a lot of opportunities for both the customer and the dealer. So we're just happy to be in the middle of it.
There's a thread on Dealer Refresh right now from Kirksville Motors, and they're sort of outside the main metro area dealer group. Mm-hmm. The thread is talking about just how many cars they've delivered through Autosled in the past 3 months.
Oh, cool. All right. Good.
He keeps updating it. He's keeping it going, and they're doing a lot of business through y'all right now.
Good. Well, thank you. Good. I appreciate the business. Yeah, no, it's interesting that we've seen a huge uptick in 24 in dealer deliveries and then the dealer swaps. I mean, dealer swaps and inventory. There's a lot of dealer trading
out there.
There's a lot of movement in both of those two segments.
I think it's really interesting because you initially launched this, as a dealer yourself, struggling to create software that you could have a more streamlined experience to acquire vehicles and to move cars. And then it turned into, well, let's do this for the consumer too. And it's actually nice as a consumer. I'm switching out my cars every 3 years to know that I don't have to just buy in my market. I'm going to tell you, I've been in my market for 10 years and I struggle with it. I don't like buying a car. I like when I know somebody and they just put the deal together, and I'm definitely sure I overpay, and I don't really care because I don't like grinding it out to get a response, to start there. And I don't like it when I don't feel that somebody really wants my business and that they're not providing me the information I'm looking for. And I'm trying to make it as fast and easy as the next person, but there's a lot of roadblocks still in the sales process, and I continue to see them, which reminds the consumer, and it's not, and you got to put this out there, it keeps dealers on their toes too, that you don't have to just buy in your local market anymore. And I think even I was talking to a dealer yesterday that I'm going to see tomorrow, and he said, we've lost a lot of market share. We need to get our market share back. That's why I'm going out there to work with their store. And I can tell you a lot of it ties back to, look, you got to be above and beyond today. You got to respond. I mean, that's like crazy that I'm literally saying that, but and being able to provide an exceptional car buying service for people, and if you're not going to get it from dealer A, they will find a dealer that will do it, and it doesn't have to be in your market. It's going to be wherever they find good service. And the cars, it's like, I don't know if this was true for you, but for me, I'm looking for something very specific, and not every dealer in my market's going to have it. And sometimes when it comes to pre-owned, you're going to have other markets where a car that they've acquired is not as popular as it would be in another market, and so maybe you could buy it better, and transport it. And so these options become so viable now for people. I'm really glad that you guys saw this as an opportunity. How is it evolving for you guys, Dave? Like, I mean, is it catching on, or how do you even let the average consumer know?
Yeah, it really is. It's catching on. I mean, really through the word of mouth from the dealers and the dealers spreading it. But I got to tell you a story that's pretty funny that happened in the last month. A dealer, really good friend here, very close to our office in Maryland, had a customer in North Carolina that was saying the same thing. I can't buy this car. I can't find this car. I can't find this car. The dealer in Maryland found the car in the state of North Carolina, but it was across the state. It was like a 2.5 hour ride. So he was like, this makes no sense for me to bring the car up and then bring the car back down. He found a detail place that we delivered it. We picked it up at the dealer, brought it over to the detail place. I don't know how he paid the detail person, obviously. And then, so the customer picked it up at the detail place and it was perfectly clean. And he had overnighted the temp tags to the customer. So they walk in the detail shop. It was like, it was crazy. I'm like, it's very innovative, very outside the box for you. Like, so here's a deal, or a customer in North Carolina. That was a friend of the guy, but the dealer in Maryland. But he found the car. I wouldn't say it's his neighbor because it's a couple hours away. But that person in North Carolina could have driven over versus 3-4 states away and 600 or a 6-7 hour drive. But I mean, that was pretty outside the box. So dealers are innovative, creative, adaptable, whatever you want to call. But that was a good story. And I'm like, why are we taking it to a detail shop, Mark? And he says, I got to get it clean. I can't give it to, this guy's name is Scott, the customer. I can't give it to Scott dirty. It's probably gonna have bugs on it. It's going across. I'm like, okay, very cool. And so yeah, that was but so really from the dealers just being willing to do that, to sell. I mean, because look, dating myself, but I sold my first car. It's been almost 30 years, and 1995. But was we have to sell them in the market, right? We have to sell them in the market. We have to get the service customer, and all that still makes sense. You got to want the customer to come back for service. But if someone's coming into your market, you're going to have to pump some out. And I think dealers are willing to do that now and to send stuff that, it's not all about just getting the customer back for service, which is super important. I don't want to downplay that, but other dealers are willing to sell into other markets so you sometimes you have to let some cars go yourself out of the market. So it's really just been through the willingness in the customer desire or ability and willingness to buy 10 states away, like in your situation, to let the cars go that far and willing to buy on the other end. So yeah, it's just been really the dealers just pushing it because the customers are asking for it.
You also have a lot of dealers now that are trying to get back on track with, days in inventory. And so, they're being counseled, hey, get rid of that thing at this, at this time frame. And whereas before they would hang on to it, and try to get more money out of it, but then they're losing and they're just waiting for that buyer. And now it's like people are trying to get back on track with benchmarks and things like this. And it is sort of nice to have a source that's a trusted source. These drivers, they're vetted, they're fully insured. And I can tell you that was a concern for me as a private transporter, because I'm not calling up these randoms and pick up my car and transport it, and I don't know if it's going to get there. And, I like, from a dealer perspective, from a personal perspective, I like that drivers are in a network. They have to provide certification. They have to be vetted and insured, and all of the T's are crossed, dots or I's or dot or whatever people say.
Yeah.
And and it's legit.
Well,
There's a lot of weirdos out there.
Yeah, I mean, a couple things to that. I mean, we're seeing mass trades at an all-time high. I mean, it seems like it's back to where it was a decade ago, where there's so much misallocation and dealers are under pressure, especially with interest rates high. But the insurance part's huge. We have a $5 million umbrella policy over each load, and that's because we haul OEM stuff, and it's just the right thing to do. But the things that a lot of people don't understand when they maybe just go to, I don't know, just Google something, is they might get an insurance card from someone and they might get a deck page, but the problem is the policies are so expensive these days that they're being paid monthly. So we track that and we check that, and our system verifies that. I mean, these average driver cannot just write check. I mean, we will have I was talking to a guy the other day, and his policy's 26 grand a year. He's like, he has 3 trucks. He's like, I have no ability to write a check for 26 grand, but I can afford 21.50 a month. And so, but how do you know that he paid it that month? Right. So, we have something built in our system that checks that, and then we have to sideline them until we have that month's proof. And that's a thing that happens, and we see it happen in this industry. Unfortunately, is a customer will think that they have insurance just because they have the declaration page of the policy and it shows 6 months. Well, great, all of ours show 6 months, right? They all renew, but you got to pay it every month, unless in very few truckers have the ability to pay it in one lump sum. So it has to be checked monthly. And that's just a bit of advice. Any dealer, anyone listening, if you're not using us and you have a friend, you have a guy, you have a lady, you have a person, make sure that you're getting that insurance policy and proof that it's paid every month. I cannot stress that enough. And whether you use Autosled or not, of course, I'd love for you to use me and use us, but just make sure it's paid. I had a great talk with a big dealer group outside of Pittsburgh today, and they have a company, a local, and he said, we've known these people 30 years. And I'm like, that's awesome. They run from Manheim, PA into Pittsburgh. I'm like, that's awesome. Just still use them. We'll go for their stuff that's further out, and we'll make deliveries, and we'll help you bring in stuff from further out and in other regions. But make sure that insurance on that person and that company you have every month, and make sure you verified that it's paid. And he kind of looked at me like, oh, we get it. We get it once a year. He sends us a new policy. Just make sure it's paid, and make sure you have the driver in the list of equipment with VIN numbers on that policy. Because that's another thing. If the driver is not listed on the policy and the VIN number of the equipment in the trailer, the truck in the trailer is not listed, then there's a very good chance that the insurance company will say no. So there's a lot of things that come to vetting and verifying insurance, not just, hey, they sent me the policy. Oh, great. There's a lot more to it. And we work really hard on it. And unfortunately, we have to block and sideline people temporarily till we know that they have. And sometimes it's an hour or two, sometimes it's a day or two, sometimes they don't come back, right? But we have 12,000 carriers and companies in the network, but and we have to do that, because it'd be hard for me to sleep at night knowing that
you got a reputation
we might have hundreds, if not thousands, a day that we don't know if we have proper insurance on. And so anyway, it's one bit. Any dealer listening, if you're using someone that's not through us or another big company, just please make sure you have that insurance checked and verified monthly.
Well, one of the things they can do is they can have their friendly transporter they've been using forever join your network.
Yeah. And we've done that. We've had some do that, and it's interesting. We actually have a button in there where they can click internal, and what's
Hmm.
happened with that is it ends up being in some of these bigger dealer groups, they have their so-called guy, their driver that they've
Hmm.
used, and he
Hmm.
and that person's moving inventory between dealers. And so then there's a bill of lading, and there's pictures and everything. So yes, that we created that because of a dealer. But yeah, again, it's just that liability stuff. That's the stuff that keeps me up at night. But we're working as hard as we possibly can, and then the software's really done a good job in helping us. But yeah, joining network, and thanks for pointing that out, Alex.
Well,
But that's
I can tell you that's not the only thing, okay? Because I'm going to tell you from my own personal experience. Well, first off, you don't know who you're getting out there on a Google search, so it's nice to have a trusted source in your back pocket, and that does this all the time. Not to mention that I use Uber like probably 8 times a week. I do like seeing where the car is. I do like seeing like where I like having access to my driver. All of these are features in the
yeah,
app for both, a private transporter like me or a dealer, that's using Autosled. But that's not what I wanted to tell you. I just wanted to say, that it is sort of nice when you have a dealer network, and I can tell your numbers continue to rise. I love staying on course with you guys and watching your progress. I love to see new features and unlocking new things that make customer experiences bright and shiny. I mean, I think that's what we're all striving for. But to have a network of of drivers for dealers that are not just vetted, but these are people that they have to fit a certain standard. They have to take actions, like, for example, you buy a car at an auction, you never know what you're really going to get until it shows up. I mean, but if driver's taking photos for you, it just is like one of these added measures of security that I personally like. It's a nice added touch. It's also nice to know that these guys are getting paid faster than usual. Because I can tell you, a lot of times, and people don't know this with transportation, but, it's a little sketchy out there. And these drivers, I know because I've had people in my own personal family as drivers in transportation, and these guys don't always get paid, and so then it changes the level of service or reliability, but these guys are getting paid. And maybe you can talk to that, Dave, too, because what it does is when somebody's getting paid, they like you more. They're more
yeah,
willing to be accessible. So now your network grows. So when I need a driver right now, boom, I got it. And even
yeah,
if I got a guy for 30 years. I know these guys. These guys pick me up and take me to the airport.
yeah,
They're not
right.
always reliable. I mean, they're not always available. And so you need somebody in a snap. You want all the things intact.
Well, that's been the great part about the self-dispatch and the load board is just things literally get taken like Uber. I mean, they get posted, and the drivers get notifications, couple taps they can see and
Yeah.
take the load and get all the information if there's a gate pass or release or special instructions. But yeah, the quick pay has been awesome. So this, we piloted it the last couple months, and now we actually have a new integration that'll be live at the first of the year that'll give them instant pay. Like, I mean, they could literally couple of taps, they can get paid right where they're still on the lot. Hey, car's delivered, bill lady went in,
That's
everyone
shocking.
signed it, confirm, and then they
Hmm.
can get paid instantly. So that's huge. We're super excited. I mean, look, it's the
Yes.
world we're in. What Venmo, Zelle, right? PayPal.
Definitely. Everybody wants it right now.
That's where we are, right? And that's, I mean, you said Uber, and it's funny. I was in an Uber a couple weeks ago, and I love talking to the Uber drivers
Me
because
too.
Uber obviously has got billions of dollars of tech and all that stuff they built. So
Yeah.
I said, he goes, I can cash out every ride if I want. And so they can cash. I mean, not that you would, but I was like, how many do
Hmm.
you think you'll do today? He's like, hopefully 10 to 12.
That's
He goes,
exactly right.
but he'll be cashing out. That
That's
driver
right.
can cash out. I mean, that's pretty
Huh.
cool. I mean, I don't like there's a lot of jobs. You could anything. You could name a job. Farmer or I don't know, pro athlete, whatever you are. But it's not a lot of them where you can just cash out right that day.
No.
Right? It was pretty cool.
No.
He's like, yeah, cash out.
Yeah, well,
Money's
these
my
drivers
time.
chase money, believe me. They chase
Yeah,
money. I
here's
mean,
some
we
money.
know how this goes.
Right, yeah, no, you're going 8 times a week. Well, I mean, Alex and I are wondering where the party are, but we're just not getting invited. That's a whole nother segment. We'll do that next podcast. But anyway, I mean, yeah, it's interesting. And the one guy that 2 times ago, I got another story. This guy is in like a suit. I mean, pretty dressed up. He said, "I'm riding home from work. It's a 40-mile ride, so I do it
Yeah.
if I can find someone that's." And literally, my hotel was. I mean, it wasn't. Golf balls hit off the highway. He whipped around. It was the first little light. Boom! I jumped out, and then he went up the highway and was home. He's like, so there you go. We're driving Uber, and my guess is he cashed out and bought dinner that night. Right?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. It was
It
a
is
30. It
nice.
was a $30 trip for me. I mean, so I know subs and food are expensive these days, but you can definitely buy some with $30.
Well, you know what? It's about being progressive and positioning people first.
Yeah.
And I know you guys do that really well in your company because I've got the privilege to meet so many people that just are so excited to be a part of this. This company and the progress. But I'm just curious too, Alex. So, have you ever transported a car before, or was this your first time?
No, I've done many.
So, what stood out to you with Autosled?
Oh, just the speed.
Speed.
Yeah. So I've shipped many cars, many of my personal cars that I've sold over the years, usually because I have unicorns, and sold quite a few to people in California from Virginia and Vermont. And and usually the people buying cars, they don't really understand how to transport them. They don't know anything about it. So I had to go in and help them set something up. And usually what I would do is I would call my friends and be like, "Hey, who's your guy that you would do if you were sending a car across the nation?" Especially like my buddies who run Porsche stores, because they're doing it all the time. Yeah, I've been through a number of different companies and whatnot who did it. It up until Autosled, it was always, how good is the driver? Is the driver going to take the pictures? Is he going to do the walk arounds and everything, and go out of his way to keep you updated as to how long it's going to be?
That never happens.
No, and most of the time,
and these people are late too. They're generally late.
That's what I was. Yeah,
late to deliver. I've been there.
That's what I was going to get to. Is like they'll quote you 5 days, and it ends up being like 2 weeks.
Well, because they're waiting on a load, and that's the thing with Autosled. When you have that many transporters, and it's like Uber, I'm like, okay, I need a ride right now. Boom, there it is. They're not waiting for 5 other people's potential business before they could stack it. I mean, these guys are going to move, and look, I could go on and on and on. I just have loved Autosled's progress and how they're leveraging this tech, to make it a great experience for people. But
I appreciate the kind words. I just remorse without saying. I just want to thank our team. Our team's been incredible. We got some really big awards this year. We finished number 9 in the Deloitte fastest growing tech companies. We finished number 12 in the Inc. 5000 fastest growing companies, and then number 1 in the DMV DC metro area. So it's been a big year. So we've had a lot of fun. But the team's incredible. Just some really innovative people, and they just never cease to amaze me, the stuff they come up with. Anyway, but I just love being around them, their enthusiasm. And even as we've gone more remote over, COVID in the last couple of years, is still the calls and the Zooms. And we had 5-6 people in the office today. Next thing I know, a ping pong match broke out, and there were, it's just, but just the ideas and the way they've been able to improve and help us grow this business been incredible. But I just really want to thank the team for helping us get these awards. It couldn't have been done without them, obviously, but just a really good group, 50 some people now. So really cool. Yeah. But I appreciate your all.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's been fun. I think I probably said this on before when we've talked. I still am amazed that my car's not going to a car dealership every morning after 25 years of it. Yeah. But this is a lot of fun, and we're getting to work with car dealers who I just absolutely love, who are my friends and colleagues and neighbors, and so it's a lot of fun just watching them go through the things that they've gone through the last couple of years, the ups and downs, back in the ups, and so it's exciting.
Well, you took a promotion to full customer voluntarily.
Good. Yeah. All right.
And and being a customer, I did the same, obviously, and being a customer now, one of the things that might be fun challenge for your team to start looking at is how to get the dealers in your network to better market to the consumers that they can ship cars very easily, especially on Auto Trader, Cars and Car Gurus, because I didn't see anyone talking about that when I was shopping around.
That's a great point.
That is a good point. We hired a new person last week to help us in marketing, and the person before Mike, who you guys probably met before, was with us.
Yes.
He's moved up to take over an ops role, which we're really excited about. But we hired a new person, so I think there's some pressure I need to apply to Peyton and team, but which we will, because we all love Peyton, and he's incredible. And but thank you. That's good ideas. I'm kind of jotting some notes down here too, but there's definitely a lot more opportunities for us.
Innovations, new features.
Excited for 2025. So definitely some stuff that'll be coming out. We'll announce at NADA. I believe we're offering a free shipment 500 miles. I don't know. Come find me and I'll go
dealers.
more. For the dealers, come find me if you're a dealer. Come find me. I think the promotion's free shipment for up to your first shipment free for up to 500 miles. If you come find me, I'm the easiest sale in the world. I'll probably go further than 500 miles, but I'm saying it here. So we'll see who comes and finds me. I'll be in the booth the whole time. I love New Orleans, and it's gonna be a good time. But please come find me, and I'll give you a quick demo. We'll get you signed up, and literally you'll be in and out of the booth in 10-15 minutes, and grab a couple tchotchkes, and then we'll get your first one rolling.
Well, I'll be there. I'll pop by.
I can't wait to see y'all. Always fun.
Well, Alex, I was so excited when I heard that you had used Autosled, and like you, a supporter of their progress. Thanks for joining today and sharing your personal story. I think it's nice to see industry people, using other people's services and actually saying something about it. And for me, I was just really blown away by this tool. And I loved using it. I literally didn't have to talk to anybody. I never had to make a call. I got my quote immediately. It was right there, and I just love the seamless, the efficiency of it for dealers. I don't even have enough time to talk about more features that are on this product, but it's something I've gotten behind, because who doesn't like to save money and time? And that's what's happening here.
Well, great. Come see us at NADA. Can't wait. And please publish my number, Jen. Tell whoever, email number. I'd love to talk to you.
Dave actually gives his cell phone number out.
My cell phone number's everywhere. Call me anytime, day, evening. Thanksgiving morning, someone called. We fried right before the turkey fried, but it was fun.
All right.
Thanks, y'all.
Definitely jump on some Autosled.
Show notes. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Alex.
Oh, I was just saying, definitely jump on some Autosled. It's good for dealers. It's good for customers.
Yeah. Thank you.
And scene. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you so much.
If you like these episodes and my sales game techniques, you should snatch up our latest dealer education program I'm hosting. It's called Jen's Remote Classes, and it's a 1-hour, once-a-week class with me alongside other dealerships, all pursuing the same end game to achieve top 10% status in your dealership. For more info, hit me up. All my contact info's in the show notes. I want to hear from you. And follow Dealer Talk with Jen Suzuki right now to get notified when episodes like this one drop. This is Jen on the podcast Dealer Talk with Jen Suzuki. See ya!